Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another week of me trying to be profitable. And this week we made some huge progress and we're one step closer to passing the account. I had some amazing days, but we did take some losses here and there, and I won't delay too much, so let's just get straight into it. Alright, so looking at the high time frame, we did have these two confluences that I noted down. I noted that price was respecting the 4-hour order block to continue bullish, and I mainly wanted to see if the 1-hour fair value gap gets ran through to continue with that trend or respects and continues lower. And we revisited the 1-hour level quite a few times already, so if that many orders filled, I reckon we could break through the range. And looking at the low time frame currently, we did have a bunch of internal liquidity that I reckon we could target after sweeping out the prominent high. Though if I were to take shorts, I would also need to see some new low time frame balances get ran through and retap for an entry. And I want to let price develop a bit further because right now it does look a bit like a barcode, and during the build up to market open we did get a bit of a push up, though not enough to sweep that prominent high, so I was starting to look for an entry, and we hadn't had a 15-minute retrace in a while, so I was primarily basing my entry area around the 15-minute order block. And I noted an untapped 15-minute fair value gap plus 5-minute order block overlapping with the 15-minute order block, which was also in the discount zone of the price range, so I was really liking this entry. I was confident in the entry getting hit because I've seen many times market open dumping price to my optimal entry before running to hit profits. So this time I decided to place confidence. My entry did end up getting hit after a little while, and price was actually stalling for quite a bit and pushing down towards my stop loss. The strong bearish power continued lower, hitting the golden zone of the fib tool and continued to stall. And I already accepted the risk when entering into this trade, so I decided to just keep my trade in, and that ended up working in my favor because price ended up pumping up hella and moved swiftly, missing my partial by a pip. But since the push-up was so good, I had faith that we would hit TP, and we did end up hitting our partial after a bit more stalling, and then our TP shortly after for a nice win of $600. And I really liked today. I was patient with the entry and I didn't FOMO into a trade, which is a point that I focused on in my reflection this weekend. With what I could have done better, I could have utilized the fib tool better by recognizing that there were imbalances near the golden zone. And it's been a bit since I used the fib tool, though it seems that the golden zone is still working really well. But I did notice that the low time frame imbalances within the 15-minute order block, like the 3-minute order block plus fair value gap, which would have provided me a good entry as it was within the golden zone of the fib tool. It's more like having a better synergy with the confluences that I use, and I mainly use the fib tool today because it's also my equilibrium tool. So yeah, I just wanted to know where the discount zone was. But either way, I'm really happy with today. I was patient and I waited for price to hit my most optimal entry, so I followed my plan. So yeah, I'm happy with today. Alright, so looking at the high time frame, we did have a few confluences to work with. Price was respecting bearish order flow, with price tapping into a 1-hour fair value gap and respecting it, and we had a 4-hour fair value gap lower down, which I reckon we could see hit. And there was a 1-hour fair value gap which we were within right now, so I was thinking we could use this range to help us for a retracement to some lower time frame balances for a snipe. And looking at the low time frame, we were looking pretty bearish with a 15-minute change of state delivery occurring and a 15-minute plus 5-minute order block overlap, which looked like a pretty good area for me to target. And we did have plenty more imbalances backing out of like the Fibonacci golden zone and more low time frame balances, making this a nice hotspot for an entry in my opinion. And we were waiting quite a while for an entry, to be honest, but I had faith and I just patiently waited because I didn't want to FOMO into another trade. And the price was stalling for a while, though eventually after a bit of waiting it did come and hit my entry. Though we weren't in this trade for long as price continued with strong bullish power, coming up to hit our stop loss for a quick loss of 450. And today honestly I'm not too annoyed by it. I accepted the risk when I took the trade and I was just wrong overall, so it's my skill that needs to improve. And one thing I did notice that this trade was quite a bit later compared to my other trades, as you can see here. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't deviate too much from the set time range. But apart from getting the entire bias wrong today, with what I could have done better, I didn't account for this 1-hour fair value gap enough, and prices are accumulating within it and then respecting this imbalance later on for bullish. And I was too stuck on the bearish trade that I didn't see the opportunity for this move and ended up getting stopped out because of it. So I have to improve my eye when seeing these things during pre-market. Price was technically still in a bullish trend too, so I was too close-minded as well. I'll learn from this too and come back better. But still the furthest point I've been in an account, so I can't complain. Just gotta keep pushing to pass the account. Alright, so at high time frame we did just break through this 4-hour order block on the 1-hour time frame and swept out this prominent low. And we do have another low below that which is overlapping with the daily fair value gaps order, which I reckon we could either target if price hasn't swept or wait for a reaction after we've already tapped into the range. And on the low time frame we do have a few more imbalances that I wanted to see the reaction off of, which is this 15 plus 5-minute fair value gap. Also wanted to wait to see if any new low time frame imbalances appeared, which I can base my trade off of. And this trade was quite small, though I risked less than the usual amount since it was a little earlier than usual for a trade entry. That was pretty close to market open, and the setup was A+, so I was okay with taking it. Because of that, I decided to enter into this trade. I accepted all the risks and I was okay with taking the L on this one. And we were moving pretty high, getting a 1-minute seek and destroy after market open hit and price just plummeted down. And it was looking pretty good. Can't wait to have price hit my partial in a few seconds. It's edging us, bro.
Yo, actually.
That's the craziest edge I've ever seen. Oh my life. Oh my life.
How are you gonna sweep all that liquidity just to fucking do this game here for me? What the
He's fighting back, bro. He's fighting back.
fucking diabolical.
Right. Bro, there's no way. There's actually no.
Yeah, no.
Oh, so clean, bro. So clean. How big? It's on the. Bro, it's on. This is diabolical. This is like. There's no way. Looking pretty inevitable right now.
This is foul, bro. This is actually foul.
This is sad, bro. This is actually sad.
Chill.
You know what I'm saying, bro.
This fucking market at least wants my fucking partial, right? Really.
Man, please.
Out of 5 cons, I just need 4. I'm gonna take the partial. Yo, go fuck yourself.
Please. Please.
Order filled.
We go.
Okay. Let's see if it runs, bro. Let's see if it runs. If it runs, it runs. If it doesn't run, it doesn't run.
We tapped the daily, so what other complexes do we want?
What do you mean? We tapped. We like edged it by like on the edge.
Did we not tap?
It was like on the edge. Like we didn't even break into it. Oh wait,
Well, if
no.
I actually lost that trade, I'd actually like fucking shoot myself.
What I'm saying, bro.
Actually, what the fuck was that? That was so stupid. I'm getting some bullet power now.
Yeah. Retracement.
Oh, I mean, you take a picture and send it to Dubs real quick.
Take a pic. Come back. Diddy kind of.
Order filled.
Alright. Beautiful. So yeah, clean ass trading there. I liked how I took this trade without hesitation. Like I was thinking, this is a decent setup. I just took it with confidence. With what I could have done better, I'm not sure to be honest. I really like the trade today. Maybe getting a better fill, but at the same time that could have been quite ambitious. Could have left the runner for more as well, but at the same time I secured profits by a good margin, so that was pretty good too. There was potential for a second trade I could have entered, though I decided not to take it and just walk it because I can just keep the green instead of risking more on the day, not letting my greens turn to reds, you know. Maintaining this patience and the quality of these trades. But yeah, clean day all around. Alright guys, looking at the high time room, we have quite a few imbalances. This 4 plus 1 hour order block I wanted to see the reaction off of to see if we wanted to move bullish or bearish for today, as we've had both session highs and lows as targets. I wanted to see the reaction of the imbalances here, and I mainly want to see the reaction of the 3-minute fair value gap, but that was overlapped with the golden zone because I could see the market chop accumulating to that range before moving up. Though if we disrespected these imbalances, we could see a push down to the session low. And this first trade was honestly pretty good. I was hunting for longs because it looked as if we swept the low, but we didn't get a change in state delivery, which made me want to get in long. Though I thought about it and price was respecting bearish confluences. We had a 5-minute order block respect along with a 15-minute fair value gap tap in and a 3-minute fair value gap within the golden zone for a Fibonacci. The break past the 15-minute order block wasn't that strong either, and because of all of these confluences the trade was 8+. And we ended up retesting the 5-minute order block and respected it, and we ended up tapping our entry as well, as it was placed just at the golden zone starting point, which was a really nice entry. And price ended up running down really well and hit our TP1 quickly before coming down again and hitting our full TP for a nice one of 420. And while this trade was really clean, I did end up breaking my rules, which was what I'll show you now. This trade here was where I fucked up because I felt it was more cocky and I ended up taking a low probability setup. I kept the confluences for this trade like a 5-minute order block respect for bearish, even though it was kind of hard to tell. I coped the sales for this trade because the 12 AM move really fucked up my charts. I couldn't even tell if this was a breakthrough or not, but I decided to take a shit trade and ended up getting burned for it, taking a quick loss of 250. But yeah, I broke my rules and traded even though I should have walked away, which is what I usually would have done. I should have walked and just called it a day. I'm running this at like 1:30, bro, because I kept waiting and coping for a setup and it delayed me getting my other work done. But as a lesson nonetheless, to not re-enter or hunt for more entries when I already had an amazing day. Alright guys, I'm gonna be real. The trades I took today were not clean in any way whatsoever. My judgment today was pretty bad. I'll say one part is largely due to my health, because I've been sleeping at like 3 in the morning every day for a few days. More assignments this week especially, so I've been grinding this recently. But yeah, the judgment today was really bad. I don't want to say that I wasn't patient at all. First trade was more FOMO, and the second trade was also FOMO because I wanted to catch the move down. And I was lucky I didn't lose any money on these trades, and I'm grateful I didn't. And I'll take the lesson and improve from it and do my best to maintain the patience and discipline. I know that if I keep up this performance, then I'll just be giving back the profits and more, so I really need to lock in and do better. And what I could have done better, there was this nice move I caught, though at the time I was too close-minded because I was thinking that there would be a seek and destroy of the recent hideouts made, and that didn't occur until much later. And there was a 3-minute BPR which was overlapping with the golden zone, which price tapped into and respected really well. And we could have caught this move all the way down to the recent low, and some of the LRLs were down. But yeah, that about does it for this week's trades. Alright guys, that ends off week 23 of the combine. And this week started off really nicely, and it was more near the end of the week where I started slipping and the cracks started showing. One thing I will work on is taking less trades, cutting out those low probability setups and limiting myself to only one trade a day and focusing on making that trade the best possible trade I can take. And there are days where I can do pretty well, and there are days where I struggle reading, so if the conditions aren't great for me, maybe I should just sit back and observe instead of forcing a trade. But yeah, that about does it for this week. If you guys haven't checked out me and my friends Discord, we got a link in the description. We got some amazing people in there, and it's just meant to be a nice community where we all support each other and help each other grow into traders we want to become. So join up if you're keen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.